Welcome to the Sophia Chang Show. A friend of mine called to wish me Happy New Year, and he said, I hope we get a return to normalcy in 2021. I listened to his message, sat down, and cried. The most hopeless thing about lifelong ailments like chronic illness, CPTSD, is the unending loneliness. I say unending because no matter how much your friends love you and want to care, they will continue to unintentionally hurt you simply because they do not understand your reality. And the truth is, normies can't understand a spoonie's reality unless they live with one day in and day out, and that reality is a pain that can be mitigated, but one that I don't believe will ever end. I say this because it's tiring to have to explain yourself over and over. I mean, it's like being colored, right? And having to explain to white people, don't say those stupid things, right? It gets tiring. And even if you do explain it to them, both white people and non-spoonies, it really just skims the barest surface of this ocean of suffering that you will never be able to convey in its entirety to someone on the outside. All I can do is share snapshots of it when I have the strength and the courage and especially the energy, but most importantly, when there is a receptive ear. And that is the hardest to come by in this age of over talking and under listening. Everybody wants to share, but they don't actually want to take in what you're saying. Here's my reality. 2020 has been the best year of my life in a long time. Let's go take a look at how my life has been going. 2016, start exhibiting anti-MOG symptoms. I couldn't feed myself because my hands shook so much. I couldn't get the fork to my mouth, and I was like an infant. 2017, went blind. That took away my dream of being a published author, of being a writer. You know, to this day, I still can't read books anymore, which I know it's heartbreaking. I cannot hold a hard book in my hand and read it. I have to do only audiobook, or like I said in my last episode, I have the Alexa accessibility app read a Kindle out loud. And that only happened in the last month. Okay, so it's been a little bit of a struggle. 2018, ended up in a wheelchair. That was fun. The my other dream of being a pro dancer, I mean, literally life was just taking away. It's like you love it? I take it away. Yeah, I did go semi-pro in my life as a dancer a couple times, but I was just getting started. I mean, I had just begun a career as a wedding choreographer, and I was damn good. Okay, I was like the Jesus of dance. I got stiff ass Asians YouTube ready by wedding day. I had to pinch hit and choreograph something the day before a wedding because their millennial choreographer flaked out on them. I was good. The lovely thing about central nervous system diseases like anti-MOG and multiple sclerosis, my cousin disease, is that they both give you numbness and extreme pain at the same time. So I wouldn't be able to tell if I was wearing shoes, but if you just drop a blanket onto my legs, I feel like you're whacking me with a baseball bat. Like, how does that even work? The pain was so intense. My hospital was so shitty. They boot everyone out of the rehab facility as soon as they can, whether you're able to function or not. I was not. My medication wasn't correct, so I was in excruciating pain all of my waking hours. I couldn't hold my pee or poo in. Someone had to wipe my ass for me in the shower because I couldn't reach or feel it. I'm just skimming the surface here for you people. Just a little, just to skim in the surface. The physical side was terrible, but it was the emotional struggle that I still have not recovered from and probably will never recover from. What they don't tell you when you become disabled or chronically ill is that your friends will abandon you. You suddenly realize how casually the people in your life define friendship. I'll use my extremely limited energy to send a video message to someone who's horse healthy and they can't be bothered to respond. I mean, can I even get an emoji, please? When you compare that to the people who is that in this case is actually entirely church people who sent money, had food delivered to my house, wanted to make sure that I wasn't alone. When you compare those two groups, it's easy to see who is a real friend and who's a time waster, basically. I could count on one hand the people who were actually there for me, who got me through the worst part of chemo, who told me they wouldn't be okay if I killed myself. These are the people that literally kept me alive. My first year back from the hospital was the loneliest. I spent Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's, basically every holiday alone in a wheelchair, and it's been that way since. And the thing is, I love holidays, right? So, like, I'm one of those, like, super I love even Valentine's Day. Like, I think I've talked about this before, like, when I'm single, I still love Valentine's Day. And you have to remember, I'm a huge extrovert, so leaving me alone on a holiday is the cruelest torture you could possibly do. And this brings me to 2020 and why this year has been so great. 2020 was the first year I had a Thanksgiving dinner in a long time, and it's only because I insisted on it. It was the first time I actually had another human being around me on a holiday. Same with Christmas, and it was just these have been the happiest holidays. And today, New Year's Eve, it's been lovely. Or I just came back from eating a delicious shrimp cocktail downstairs in the kitchen. That we got, not catered but picked up. 2020 is basically the year that the entire world started to live like me, which meant everything catered to the needs of disabled and other homebound people, right? Every restaurant delivers, every grocery store is on Instacart, everything can be done from home now. I think most of all, I will remember 2020 as the year that I stopped wanting to kill myself. That in and of itself makes this a winner of a year. I found purpose again with my writing. I was happy for the first time in probably my whole life. I will never in a 10-minute podcast be able to encompass the details upon details of these miserable years of my life, and it's something I hope to never have to do. Which is why it hurts me when normies say normalcy, because in actuality, it's a selfish and narrow vision thing to say. What they really mean is they want to get back to their normal. They want to be able to go on vacation and hang out with their friends and go out and play whenever they want to play and do whatever they want to do, walk the streets, celebrate holidays with their families who love them. Families who love them. What is that? I don't think I can't even imagine families who love you. What? They basically want to do the things that I can no longer do. The only other thing people could possibly mean when they say normal is the me before my illness, and that's just a stupid thing to say because that's never gonna happen, so, that's just insensitive, but Sophia Chang's show listeners are not insensitive like that, right? For me to go back to normal, to normalcy, is to go back to sitting at home alone feeling like nobody cared if I lived or died. It's going back to the worst years of my adult life to an experience I wouldn't wish on my evilest enemy. I take that back. I actually wish this on all the people who've ever been mean to me. It would probably make them a little bit nicer. Hey, don't look at me to be a Buddha. You treat me bad, I'm gonna hope your karma comes back to you 1,000-fold. And that's the point, isn't it? Right? The reason people had such a terrible year is because they finally experienced my normal life. Now they know how terrible it was, except they were all in this together and I went through it alone. They're hoping for a return to quote unquote normal life because they had a life to return to. I don't. I'm terrified for 2021. I'm terrified at the prospect of my life going back to its lonely, normal existence. Things may change for you, but they're not going to change for me. I'm still going to be disabled. I'm still going to be homebound. I'm still going to be immunocompromised from chemo and even more unable to go out in public because This virus ain't going anywhere. In fact, it's mutating and no one's going to be wearing a mask anymore. We have no idea how the vaccine will do in the wild. It has not been tested on immunocompromised individuals, but prevailing assumption is that it won't be as effective for us. Plus, the anti vaxxers aren't going to take the vaccine anyway. Life is probably going to get worse for me while it gets better for you. And I am not looking forward to it. There's more to say about the hopelessness of 2021 for me, but I'll save that for another episode. For now, I will leave you with what is it that you can say to me? The kindest thing anyone could ever say to me is not that they hope my dreams will come true, but that they believe it will. And that they believe it for me, because I don't always believe it for myself. And my true friends are the ones that hold that faith for me. I just want to thank you so much for listening to the Sophia Chang Show, whether this is your first episode, which is a fantastic episode to start on, by the way, or you've been listening since day one in 2018. Without you, I would just be speaking into an empty room, which is really weird. You can help me out by passing this on to your friends, leaving a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen. I'm all over the place. I just want to thank you for listening.